Welcome to the More You Look podcast.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the More You Look podcast. Yes, we've been away for a while and this is the very first episode of 2021. How are your families? I hope you're all safe. My name is Femi Anthony and I've got my friend, my brother, my partner here. I've got Sugar Sky.
Yeah, what do you do, people? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Welcome to the More You Look podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the More You Look podcast.
So here we are again, Sky. First, let's catch up on. I think the last time we were here was just a few days before Christmas last year. And you know, how did you spend your Christmas, New Year?
Well, I tried to follow the guidelines as much as possible. Stayed at home, enjoyed it with my family. One of the, I think, few good things about the pandemic is that a lot of people get to spend more time with their family.
Bro,
you know?
not more than enough time. I cannot wait for schools to resume. I tell you what, this home learning thing is ruining my life, literally. Like,
exactly what
oh my God.
I mean, a lot of people, the Christmas, they probably at work. I think last Christmas, I spent some time with my family, and immediately after Christmas, then I had to go back to work.
Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day, I spent most of it at work, as I do every year anyway.
Yeah, and you frontliners, you don't even have choice, pandemic or no pandemic anyways.
Bro, let's segue into home learning. Teachers are liars. Teachers, you are liars.
Why would you say that?
Yes.
I think they are evil.
Let me explain.
Really?
Every time, parents-teachers meeting. Oh,
your kid is doing well.
The kids are a joy to teach. The kids are wonderful. Lies. All lies.
I agree with you.
Oh my God.
I agree with you.
You know, on the other hand, I feel for these kids. I do feel for these kids because naturally children should be able to go outside, run around, enjoy the fresh air, meet up with their friends, just have a normal life. And most of them have been cooked indoors like chickens now. It's like you're in a friendly prison, house arrest sort of. And, for like 8-9 months, just doing the same monotonous stuff. Yeah, so after a while, they start acting up. My lovely children smashed the TV.
Oh my God, me too.
Flooded my house.
My boy kicked the football on the TV, and the TV is up there, you can imagine.
They smashed the TV, flooded my house, and I understand. So I wasn't too harsh on them. I thank God for insurance. I know what the sacrifices they have been forced to make at very young, tender age, and I do feel for the parents all across the world, really. Not really the country. I know it's hard, especially for people who have to work and then still struggle to do the homeschooling. At first I would say, we have to do all the assignments, get everything returned in time.
You're giving up.
I'll tell you what, I don't even bother doing assignments anymore. I'm done. I'm just done. I am done. I am not going to pull a 17 hours double shift at the hospital.
I don't blame you.
Only to come back home and then sit there.
My wife is just like you, after 1 week of home learning. She gave up, really, because one, she's not as tech savvy as I am. Mm-hmm. So when we were struggling to even see how the Google Classroom works and all that, initially when we got it, she had got it to a breaking point because one, she's a frontliner. You understand? She spends most part of that day worried about if she's gonna get the virus again because she's had it before and it was a traumatic experience. And secondly, she gets home when she's supposed to rest. She's already
home learning.
Yeah, go to your class. Assignment.
And you have to sit there with them to be sure.
They lose concentration.
To be sure that they're actually doing it
the right way.
So
me, unfortunately, because I'm not a frontline worker, so I've had to step in. And me, I'm a bit, I would say, in another life, I'll probably be a good teacher, really, because I enjoy it. My boy drives me right, don't get me wrong. You understand? He drives me crazy, like, every time, but I enjoy it, you understand? And I always want them to do it well rather than submit something that has not been done properly. So in a way, I've had to step in for both of us, because she's making the sacrifice.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Very quickly, let me ask you, what is one positive thing, in this experience, online learning for your kids? What is a positive thing that you can really...
Yes, at first, when we started the whole thing, I really liked it in the aspect of me getting to know my kids, I would say, better. And, with regards to their education, actually. Because you see these teachers, I'm not going to lie, they do an amazing work, okay? Because I have to deal with 2 kids. They have to deal with 33 in a class. And they swap classes all day, every day. But the teachers can sometimes be inconsistent with the information that they give you. Because when you go to presentation and they tell your kid is doing well, it's fine. And then you get to review what they are saying. And you're asking your son, who is in year 3, what's 1 plus 1? And he's like, 5.
And you're like,
but the teacher said this boy is doing amazingly. So the home learning thing actually brought things, a bit of clarity to where they are and where they need to be. So as a parent, the kind of work you have to put in to get them there. Teachers are not expected to do everything, let's be honest. When we were younger, we had to go to school, we went to lesson, tutorials and all that stuff. Nowadays, you don't even have access to that because everybody's locked in, So
for
big
me,
kudos,
For me, I think I share the same positive as per you. And in my own case, before the pandemic, I was always busy, run the studio, do my on the road job, cover for the wife when she's working. I can tell you, which I'm a bit ashamed, but not exactly ashamed.
There's nothing to be ashamed for.
I think I could, if I should count, I probably helped them with their own work when normal school was on, maybe 5 times in their lifetime. But with this pandemic, I've had time to be able to do what my wife used to do then, because she has to make sure on Fridays they do their own work, and by Monday that they put the books back in the bag, make sure they take it to school for submission and all that. And that's me now, that's my life every day. So for me, the positive thing is that I'm able to see that experience, I'm able to see where they are lacking, and I'm able to see what I can do to help them better. So for me, that's a positive, I'm really grateful for the time, although I hate this pandemic so much. Please be over. This is 2021. Please be over.
I like what you just said, because I was just going to segue into discussing, I was going to ask, do you even think we are going to see the end of this anytime soon? Because I don't, and I'll tell you why. Remember last year, towards October, November, we were all frantically looking forwards to the new year. We said, come 2021, we cannot wait. As if January 1st, they'll just flick a switch somewhere and everything will be, And we moved into 2021. As far as I'm concerned,
you blame us for dreaming.
The numbers went up. The death rates went up. Infections number went up. January, all hospitals
were packed.
Packed. We were having situations, at least in the ambulance. At least in my county, we were having issues with, if you called for an ambulance, you had to wait 4 or 5 hours. Even if you demanded for blue light, you had to wait 2-3 hours. There was a night where we had 20 ambulances in front of the hospital. Ambulances were spending 5-6 hours in front of the hospital before they could even book patients in. To the point where patients were known to die while waiting to be booked in the ambulance. It was that bad. And I thought, is this not the 2021 we all were
so optimistic about
waiting for? And what that tells me is, yes, vaccination is ongoing. They are doing a good job with that because people are turning up in their thousands to get vaccinated. The very elderly, the vulnerable, frontliners, everyone's getting vaccinated. But still, out of 75 million, I think they've vaccinated about 6 or 7 million.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go. I do not see this ending anytime soon.
To your question, yes, anytime soon, that would be being optimistic as we had for 2021. But that shouldn't stop us from dreaming. You know, we continue hoping.
So one can only dream, is what you're saying.
But and for me personally, I do not share the optimistic about vaccines. You know,
Why?
trust me, I do not share the optimism. I feel like maybe if we work towards a cure that can get people back on their feet
It has no
2
cure.
to 3 days. I know.
It's just like the flu.
I know. But there are medications for flu that can get you back to your feet
No,
within
you're forgetting one thing, Sky. There are certain ailments today that actually have no cure. But what medicine does is to help you manage,
Yeah.
you see, these ailments.
Yeah.
If you look at HIV/AIDS, there's still no cure for it. But you can have HIV, you can have AIDS, and have a successful, fulfilled quality of life.
Yeah. So
Same thing with flu.
maybe-
And that is what the COVID vaccination is doing.
Bro, maybe no, I do not agree that. Maybe the choice of my word for using cure is bad, but you know, just like you explained, what I'm trying to say is we should be working towards a medication or a series of medication that can help us maintain it better.
But that's
rather
the
than
thing.
vaccine. You know why?
Yeah.
The vaccine now, you know, there are different variants coming out, you know, right? And some are saying that some of the vaccine, you understand, you might need
Let
to
me
get
stop.
up to 3 doses
No,
to
let me stop you there.
help you better.
Let me
with
stop you
it.
there. With the strains,
Yeah.
the Pfizer vaccines, as a point of fact,
Yeah.
is well and good for the different strains that are out now. It's good for 4 different strains. I know along the line, new strains will come up.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you need to look at this. This has been going on for like just over a year. They have, in a record time, produced vaccines to
No doubt
help
about
manage.
that. No doubt about. But let
Would
me
you
ask
have
one
that or
question.
nothing? Because right now, all you have is
No,
nothing.
I'll take it. I'll take it. You understand? But why I said I'm not that optimistic about it these days, you understand? Let me ask you one question. If you have the vaccine, are you 100% immune from having the?
Okay, this is what I would say. Having a vaccination
Yeah.
does not make you bulletproof. You can have the vaccination and still get infected with COVID. But here is what the vaccination does.
Yeah, okay.
It helps you not to fall ill as you would without a vaccination.
Without the vaccine, yeah.
You see? Now, imagine a world where everyone actually has the vaccination.
Yeah.
Would people not go back to work? Would
Yeah.
life not come back to when you know that even if you have it,
Femi.
we still have to wear masks even after having vaccination. Okay, we still have to wear masks
Yeah.
after being vaccinated. You still have to maintain your distance from people.
Yeah, but at least
Even after being
some
vaccinated.
of normalcy will begin.
There you are.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I accept it. I'm grateful for the vaccine, but I still feel like if we have, in addition to it, because see the way. Okay, maybe this is the way I say it. Everybody's talking about the vaccine. Nobody's talking about medications like what we have for flu.
Yeah,
what we
but
have
that's
for
what I
AIDS.
just said.
Yeah?
The flu was researched for ages.
Yeah.
This is something that just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, but
I think they've done amazingly well in the short time to actually come up with vaccines.
Femi, just because you have a door here, should you stop looking for an alternative?
But they haven't stopped.
Land.
But they haven't stopped.
Nobody's mentioning it. I've not.
But
seen
they won't
anything.
mention that because they've not arrived at a proper, solution. Say,
like,
we've developed this C2
Me,
320.
I've not even seen any one bit of research saying,
But-
we are open. There's going to be a medication.
But you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
I have been listening.
Why don't you
absolutely.
let the world get vaccinated first before? So you're telling me now that you won't take the vaccine?
That's not the point.
Yes or
That's
no?
not
Are you
the
taking the
point.
vaccination or not? Will you be vaccinated?
I've told you before this.
Yeah,
I've told
but will
this
you be
before.
vaccinated or not?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
So in a world where people are still dying, by record numbers, and you've been offered a vaccine to
Yeah.
protect you,
Yeah.
and your wife works as a frontline staff.
She's taking the virus.
Yes.
She's taking the. We discussed it.
Yes.
I'm happy for her taking.
But she
it.
lives with you.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna catch the virus.
But how do you know that?
I am a vaccine myself. That's what I'm telling you.
Can you hear this guy? Can you hear this man?
No, I'm just being dramatic.
I know.
But seriously, bro, I told you, she's had it. We've been in the same room. I did not get it, and I believe that come what, in my life, I've only been to the hospital once, and that's because I had a cut on my hand. Back to
so how can you say you won't take the vaccine because you see yourself as a vaccine?
No, I'm just being dramatic.
Do you know the way
But Femi, really, I don't want us to dwell too much on this. But the reason is just my own personal opinion. There's no conspiracy, informing that decision. But I just kind of feel like I don't really need it. But I just need to be careful not to pass it to others. If
you need the vaccine to protect you, and I have seen people walk into our hospital, refuse to wear a mask. And their excuse is always that I cannot catch the vaccine. And then 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days down the line, you hear that they are on the phone looking to be triaged. Okay? For chest pain, for all sorts of COVID-related symptoms. Professionally, we are not allowed to say anything to them. We are not allowed to scold them. But in my head, the thing that I always think of, I just sit down and I read that, so this person is here.
Femi, don't get me wrong. I take all precautions as possible. You can see the studio, we've got different hand gels and everything. In my car, I've got a packet of masks. I change it almost every day.
But that is not...
I take every other precaution.
But that is not vaccination.
I do not go to where, people are crowded and all that. I take you understand? But the vaccine... The reason why, to be honest,
you don't trust it.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. You
don't trust it.
I want more data first. You understand? Which is why I was keen to know. Which brings me to my next question.
Is your wife not enough?
Femi,
example.
Let's not dwell on it. My wife is yet to receive it because they've not got.
I thought you said she's had it already. She's going to have it. Okay.
We discussed it and we agreed that
But here's the thing. Okay.
Let me ask my next question, which is why maybe after this discussion, I'll be more informed.
Okay.
I'm here to get more data. I want to see more data on how it works because of the way it was rushed. But I'm happy we have it. I'm grateful for it. So, which is why my next question is, what was your experience when you had your own vaccine,
Nothing.
So nothing, no side effects, nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I know, I've been in my building, we've vaccinated probably 2,000 to 3,000 people, and we only needed to call the ambulance once.
Okay.
Out of about 2,000 to 3,000 people once. And it was just because that poor lady was very elderly. Okay? And that's why we ask people to sit 15 minutes after having the vaccination so they can be monitored. So to now, if you refuse to have the vaccination, all I can just say to you is
congratulations, you played yourself.
That's all I can. That's all I can.
You're taking it the wrong way. Yes. All I'm asking for is I'm studying what's been said about this.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
If you like, take it. If you like, don't take it.
I'm just what I'm trying to say anyway. Is I'm just being cautious, and I want to see more information. Like you just told me, it builds more confidence.
Yes.
Say for instance, I was 50-50 before with your own experience, and I know you
absolutely nothing.
And I saw you taking it.
I've had the vaccination. I shared it on my Facebook so that other people would see.
Now you managed to get 51%.
I work in a hospital of like 800, 900 people who have taken it. Not one person has had any. Effects or nothing.
Femi, I'm grateful.
I'm not trying to pressure you into taking it. No. If you don't want to take it, it's fine. It's not compulsory.
My better half is taking it. That's half of me taking it.
And again, she's okay. She can take care of the kids if you.
I've been preparing her for that. Because the rate before the vaccine, before Corona, the rates which married men die before their spouses.
Well, yeah.
Die. I've been preparing. I've told her from the day we got married, like I'm gonna continue preparing. I'm not ready.
Well, the only thing I want, if you can just,
my daughter to the house,
if you can will me, put me in your will. I want this badass Samsung Curve TV monitor here, please. Please.
No. I've just been preparing. So, but it doesn't mean I want to die. I have to play football with my kid, with my son when he grows up. I have to take my daughter down the aisle when she gets married.
Hey.
I have to carry
or are you one of those people that think the vaccination has 5G? Is activated by 5G and
you need to hear my discussion with my mom when she sends me videos of people talking about this conspiracy. They're saying is the mark of 666.
Oh my God!
I'm like, Mom, please, like seriously. But let me. And one thing I always tell her every single time is this: the world leaders, do they look like they agree on one single thing? Even in Europe. UK, which is one of the largest contributors of EU, you understand? They couldn't agree with EU. Now you are telling me that all these leaders now they agree together and say, oh, you know what? Let's give people vaccine so that we mark them up with 66.
Anyways, moving forward, the Prime Minister finally, 10 months into the pandemic that has killed 100,000 people, decided to, put some sort of lockdown on the airports.
Yeah, finally.
10 months after other countries.
And even
to me,
that's a partial lockdown.
Yeah, it's a partial
now, one. I had someone that came in December. This guy, the only thing they told him, I had someone that came in December.
Yeah, they just tell
you, make sure you don't go out.
Yeah,
nobody follows it up.
I think it's something they just put in place recently. And for me, I just think it's like, like I said on my Facebook, it's like wearing condom at your child naming ceremony. That's the way I see it. 10 months into a lockdown, 100,000 deaths. Look how big America is compared to us. And they've only experienced over 400,000 deaths, as big as America is. It's not a good thing to happen. Those people have families, I understand. But compare UK, a very small island of about 75 million people, and we have experienced 100,000 deaths of people.
No, see, one thing I keep telling people, you see this party in government, you understand? What they care about is investments, their fair.
And already I read something on Facebook. Yeah, I read something on Facebook that they are going to, they have increased the price of, burial.
Yeah, funeral.
Yeah, funeral prices have even gone up. I'm like, you are cashing in
on what's going
on the grief of people during a pandemic.
Don't even get me started. One thing that nobody talks about and it drives me crazy is insurance. Car insurance. You ask us to stay at home and honestly, we're still paying
for insurance. Yeah.
9 months, 10 months.
Yeah, of staying at home.
And nobody's even talking about
no breaks, nothing.
So tell me, even if do you think I'll be happy packing up my car for one? If I didn't have a business that is essential that makes me go on the road, do you think I'll be happy packing my car for just 1 month without taking on the road and paying insurance?
Exorbitant prices too that they charge.
On my Uber trip, I picked up a guy, you understand? The guy was called urgently, that his mom had been rushed to the hospital. So he had to go from Watford all the way to Southeast, Lewisham that day, and I picked him on our driving. The guy said he took his insurance off 3 months ago, that's why he could not go. Because it was really late. And I told him, why are you going this late? He said, I could have driven my car, but they told us don't go anywhere.
I'm not going to pay for insurance when I'm not using the car.
And you know what happens when people start taking off their insurance? You start losing your no-claim bonus because if you're not driving, you don't have insurance for 1 month, 2 months.
That's true.
Your no-claim discounts is invalid. But the government is not. You know why?
That is crazy.
This government
they do not care.
Their wealthy partners.
Let me look
their
for
wealthy
this.
friends.
They do not care.
That's the only thing,
I'm going to tell you. They make it seem like they care.
They don't.
But in essence, they do not care. They do not care.
This national lockdown that we've got, it should have been in place as far back as August. Before Christmas. But obviously, they didn't want their friends' business
to lose out.
That's
it's like the reason why Nigerian electricity problem will never end.
Exactly.
Because these politicians are the ones that own companies that sell they import generators. So if you fix the electricity problem, their countries will go bust.
Business,
And it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I called my barber just to check up on him, because you have to check up on your
friends,
on your loved ones, and I checked up just to see how the business is going, and it sounded so frustrated, because one, they've asked people not to, those places not to open. He's not getting furlough or any help from the government. He tells me he's owing 3 months on his rent. So, it just dawned on me at that point that even after COVID and everything, some people will not bounce back from this.
Never.
Some people will never back down.
Never.
Just imagine the thousands of businesses, small businesses, countrywide, dead. Not enough help from the government. And I say that to just say, if you belong in this, category of people, what can we say? Just hold your head up high. I know you do. Hold your head up high. I don't even know what to say. It's crazy. It's crazy. I hope you guys pull through mentally, And don't forget, we always share numbers if you need to talk to someone, if you need to vent, if you need to discuss, what you're going through or how you feel. Because even those of us who somehow are still lucky to hold down jobs just because we work in the healthcare sector, trust me, mentally there are times where I find myself fighting this war within myself, where, I've had to, struggle.
Indeed, our frontliners are heroes. I'm not taking anything out of that. Again, another thing that vexes me about this government is how much, we clapped for the NHS, we cheered them or we called them heroes, but aside that, what else?
Nothing.
What are they getting?
Nothing.
My wife, when she comes home,
nothing.
Okay, let me give you an example. Yesterday, she was supposed to do an extra shift to cover for them, an agency work, basically. She got there, you understand, to tell you how mentally draining this frontline issue is. She got there, and they had closed the ward for because of COVID, to fumigate and clean the place. You understand? So the option for her was to go to the manager, the night manager then, and tell them, okay, can you put me in another ward? But when she looked at it, she was like, why am I stressing myself? Like,
just go home, nice.
She just called me back and she was like, have you gone for? I said, no. I said, you know what? I'm going to go home and rest. I'm like, you?
Yeah,
Because she's quite very passionate about nursing.
Do you know the number of colleagues that I have that have almost died to COVID? You go to work to do your job, you still catch the same COVID. So many of my colleagues, and
you don't get anything.
I've stayed home, struggled.
All the nurses and doctors have died. So far. Do they get any special?
I think when you die, there's a certain amount of money you're paid that needs to go.
Yeah, but that one existed before.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course. Oh yes, of course. Oh yes, of course.
Is there any COVID-related relief?
But
package?
if you want to think about that, think about even the people at home who are not even the healthcare sector. They're getting nothing. That's
what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
They're getting
these
nothing.
People, you guys, frontline workers, you go and risk your neck every day. If anything happens, that's how I think that's how me and my wife arrived at the decision that okay, you know what, since you are gonna obviously be given the opportunity to get the vaccine, then you get it. Then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I can follow suit maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks when it eventually gets to my turn, Because every day should risk our life for what? For what?
Anyways, if you're struggling mentally, if you're struggling financially, if you need someone to talk to, if you need advice, if you need a listening ear, don't forget the Good Samaritan line is there. You've got Premier Lifeline, you have the Lifeline, Hope Line UK, you have Assist Line. If you go on Google, all the numbers are there, and we probably will share some of those numbers that we have with you. Don't give up. It is not the end. It is not the end of the world. Remember, Sky, last year on one of our episodes, we briefly touched on the issue of people in Africa or any other country looking to go abroad to, better their lives, and if they wanted to go into nursing, but we did not have enough information with the new UK point-based system. So what I did is I've gone on the internet, I've gone on social media to get as much information as I can get.
Well done for doing that. Because
it's just because I realized that
Nigerians especially too lazy for information.
No, it's not even that they're too lazy. They don't know how to look, where to look.
That's laziness, bro.
It's not laziness if you don't know.
Let me tell you my experience. Back in the days when we did events, when we would share flyers in Nigeria, do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yes.
You give somebody a flyer that an event is happening, they will be asking you. You are still there giving them the flyer. Where? When?
Boys are
how much is the gate fee? Why am I giving? At the end of the day, you're forced to get the flyer off them and say, "I'm giving you all the information. Why am I wasting my, the flyer giving you?"
Well,
carry on my
because my inbox is filled with people who think that just because I live abroad, I have all this information at my fingertips. And I said to myself, well, the difference between myself and them is that at the end of the day, I still live abroad. I should be able to at least go a step further and find as much as I can. And I will not claim this information for myself. I found this on Twitter from a lovely lady who also lives abroad herself, and her Twitter handle is @justbimbola. That's @JUST. That's just BIMBOLA. That's just Bimbola. And it says on here the step-by-step process of becoming a United Kingdom registered nurse. That's UKRN. And the first thing you need to do, apparently anybody should be able to do this, get an international passport. You guys know how you run it, if you know how you run it back there, where you go to the what do they call customs office, isn't it, or where? And then immigration office, sorry, and then you shell out a few notes for quick passports. I don't support it, but I know that is what happens.
All that now, sir, you can't really get 24 hours. Maybe if you're a politician's family, really.
Bro, there's nothing money cannot do in Nigeria.
No.
The only thing that is defeating money presently in Nigeria is COVID.
Yeah, I know.
Because I have heard of people. I think recently I heard of a billionaire, actually, a Nigerian billionaire that died of COVID.
Yeah.
It was rushed to a private hospital. It was asked to pay millions, 10 million naira actually, and he still died. I have heard and read online of Nigerian hospitals taking bribes from people and then removing the oxygen from people who will not bribe them or who don't have the money, and then giving it to the people who have bribed them. This is I'm telling you, I know what I'm saying. This is what things I have heard from people on the ground themselves. I shared a video on my social media of the COVID the COVID situation presently in Nigeria, and it is getting out of hand. Even though it would look like it is not, but it is. The hospitals are packed out there, and unfortunately, they have a government that is not even for the people. You are on your own. And they've been sharing this thing. It makes sense. Wearing a mask is safer and cheaper with less stress than having to wear oxygen mask. It will cost you everything you have. They are charging people millions just to get oxygen that may not even help you. So before I digress, let me get back on the topic. The first thing you need to do, step-by-step process of becoming a United Kingdom registered nurse. Get an international passport. That's a given. You cannot live anywhere. You cannot leave your country without a passport anyway. And you have to take a test of English test. That is the one they call IELTS or the OET. Now, it's on you to find out what that is. All these things. The least you can do. Nigeria is not under a rock. There's internet there. Everything is there. So get international passport. You have to take an English test. That's your IELTS.
Seven.
And I know that the IELTS price, according to at Just Bimbola here, is between 75,000 and 79,000 naira.
Sorry, pounds.
Yeah, that's about 150.
Convert.
Yeah. If you convert, that's about 150 pounds, 170 pounds in today's currency. Anyway, yeah.
You know, I actually paid 25,000 for that.
Oh, you paid 25,000 for it
9 years ago.
when you were doing yours.
Because of the pounds value.
Yeah.
So it's
The currency.
pounds.
Yeah. Now.
So they change it to Nigerian currency. It's gonna go up.
Yes, that's
so
true.
they convert it.
That makes a lot of
So
sense.
the price is not stable. Depending on the.
It depends on the current rate of that when they are applying.
But actually, it's 200 pounds.
If you were wondering, that's the voice of our producer, and he knows one or two about this.
He also has information that we'll share on the screen.
Okay, lovely.
Regarding how, he has a company that
Okay.
they help bring people from.
If you want to do, I will explain as much as I know, as I found out. But if you're interested in living in Nigeria, if you're already into nursing or the healthcare, and you would like to come to the UK, specifically for United Kingdom, England, okay? Our producer also, runs a company that actually helps to get people from Nigeria or anywhere in Africa actually down, and we will share the information on the screen at the end of the whole recording, so you can contact them and you get all the information you need. So for the IELTS now, presently I think it's about £200. And in Nigeria is between 79,000 naira, and you have a minimum of listening, which is 7.0, writing 6.5, reading, speaking 7.0, and overall your score must be 7.0. Aha. So the OET exam, I think that's about £333 as stated here. You convert that to naira, you should be able to,
What I need to clarify though, and I'm sure our listeners and viewers would want to know as well. Do you have to do both of them?
No.
Okay, so
Just
you
one, whichever suits you.
They'll do one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's still another nursing course they have to do.
Yeah, we are still getting there. We are still getting there. Yeah. So it says you have to have a minimum of reading, which is B. Writing has to be C+. Listening, that's for the OET. Okay. So next step, you have to open an account with NMC UK. Right? Am I right? Follow. So you can see I've done. So via online.nmc-uk.org. Did I call that correctly? That's online.nmc-uk.org. You fill in the required information, upload your international passport, your certificate, your notification, and your IELTS results, which will be optional at that point. And then you can pay the fee, which is about £140. All right. When you do that, you will get a personalized NMC portal to monitor the progress of your application. And apparently you pay about 17,500 naira via remitter, or maybe online. You can do the payment online too. Send the evidence of payments, photocopies of your notification, your certificate, your birth certificate, your license, and a letter of request. That's a letter of request for verification and good standing. And to do this, you must include your CRM number. And she says on here, the CRM number is in the mail you will get after you pay that initial £140 to NMCN office in Abuja, Nigeria. So when you do all that, you wait to be verified. You get an authorization to test your email. You book the CBT. I don't know what that is.
CBT.
Aha. You buy a voucher.
Based test for nursing experience.
Aha. That's your computer-based test for your nursing experience. If you miss anything I've said, just rewind and play and pause slowly. Okay? After passing that computer-based test. Let's see. I don't even know if I've left something out here. So after doing all that, you upload the details to your the details of a medical regulator, the police clearance, notification certificates, and your IELTS or your OET, like we said earlier. Then you can start looking for a United Kingdom job via an agency or directly, and I will help you out. I know, because you know the things with Nigerians, when they say, I've never been to UK, how will I do this? You don't need to start disturbing that your friend or your uncle who is doing 2-3 jobs and barely has time for himself to start helping you to look for a job online. What you can do, if you're not going through agencies, you can go directly through Track Jobs. That's TRACJOBS. That's Track Jobs /NHS Jobs /Indeed. If you go to indeed.co.uk and put NHS jobs, it will bring out the jobs and you choose which one suits the certification you have. And when you do that, you pay £153 to NMC for your UK registration. That is all.
That's all, yeah.
Okay? Visit carehome.co.uk. You will get a lot of job opportunities on there. And you know what? If you listen, I know that you might not have access to it. You might not have cable personally. But if you listen recently, Sky, you will be hearing online, there are lots of advertisements now. Yeah. They are looking for carers. Yeah. They are looking for nurses. So this is actually a very good time. Yeah. This is a time filled with opportunities. And like we said earlier, if all of these steps we have said on this episode is too much for you to grasp, you don't know where to look, okay? We will be sharing the website, I think, of our producer here, who also has a company. He runs a company with his partners. And what they do, they will do everything we've said here for you from scratch up to the final stage. You do not have to do anything. Just pay your charges, sit back, and wait for updates. That's all. It's that easy. It is that easy. All right? Because at the end of the day, you also need to get, when you get a job, you get certificate of sponsorship from your employer. That's your present employer in Nigeria. Yeah. You have to get a necessary, which is why most people go with companies like the one my producer runs, because what they do, they find these things for you without headache. You don't need to continue disturbing your family, your relative that is living abroad. You people think people living abroad just sit back and wait for you to call them so that they can start rushing. If you know people that have called me, I want to study at one university, can you help me go to Oxford? Do you know that I barely have time for my children that live in my house? You think I will have time for you? You know, you have to think about these things. You know, most of my days I work 17-hour shifts. I get home, I'm already wiped. I still have to make time to be a father, a husband. You think I will now have time to be going to Oxford or to be looking for NHS jobs for you? Think about it. So these things you have to do for yourself. Don't wait for anyone to do it for you. You get what I'm saying? Life is hard, we know, but you have to be able to go to if you don't have your own laptop, if you don't have data, go to internet cafe. Go to internet cafe. Yeah. Sit there. Follow the steps we have said. There are people who have done it. People have done it and ended up here from Zimbabwe, from Zambia, from Togo. You can do it too. Okay? And if you feel if it's too much for you, if you have a bit of cash, contact the company that will be sharing the address on here, and they will be able to help you out. And in regards to the IELTS that I said earlier, if you go on Twitter, there's a Twitter handle called @Omokehinde. That's @OMOKEHINDE_. That's Omokehinde_. If you go on his Twitter, he has lots and lots and lots of practice materials that will help you in writing your IELTS test or exam or whatever it is you want to call it. He has lots of listening materials. He has lots of PDF materials you can download on there, all to help assist you in your quest of becoming a nurse. Okay, so I think I've done my own duty here.
The internet these days,
it's powerful.
It's very powerful. Like you could get loads and loads of information.
Everything is at your fingertips.
You have to invest time
Sky,
and money into it.
I don't know about you.
Yeah.
If I tell you the things that I've learned online myself, I only take my car. I service my car myself. I have never studied to be a mechanic or anything. On YouTube. And it has always been well.
How-to videos.
It has always been well. When there was one car I was using the other time, a few years ago, and somebody brushed the entire side of my car. You will not believe this. I did everything from scratch, the scraping, spray painting, and everything, and it was perfectly fine. The internet has a wealth of information, and what we can do is bring the basics to you, so you know where to look and what to look for. So if you're interested in coming to the UK to continue your nursing career and to progress from there, we've given you the information that you need. And I know time is running out for this particular episode. Before we round up quickly, the Premiership season has had a lot of twists and turns. It is amazing that Liverpool is fourth. Chelsea is nowhere to be found. We were first at one time. They're just rotating that first position now. And, the question I want to ask you is, do you think Liverpool can successfully defend the title this season? Because I don't think so. I think it's down to Man City.
For the second half of the season, it is very, very unlikely. As it is now, you can say we've gone back to the traditional way of knowing the top four. Because this is where it used to be at the beginning of the second half of the season. So now the struggle is on. It's not like last season when Liverpool was leading with
Who do you think? Who do you think?
Who do I think? To be honest, I can't guess. But who do I favor? You understand? There's a different thing entirely. I do favor Liverpool still, but it doesn't mean
they are not going to win it.
You understand?
They are not.
I do favor them because I'm a Barcelona fan. Nothing concerns me if Chelsea or Man U loses out, but like I said, those are the people that I favor.
We'll see. At the end of the season, I will come back to this. Not to take much of your time, we wanted to keep this sweet, short, and quick. My main objective for this episode, to be honest, is what we've just finished. I wanted to share with people the necessary information, because the thing is, most people want to do this, but they do not know how. On another episode, what I would like us to achieve is get someone who knows a lot about stocks, shares, Bitcoin, and that entire world, who can come here and break it down for us. I won't lie to you. Explaining about Bitcoin to me, as I am right now, is like I am explaining maths to my son at home. Honestly, it's like when you say two apples, if Harry has 2 apples, and then he got 3 more, and I'll be like, the answer is 9. That is how I am right now. When you say Bitcoin, I just shut off, So we need somebody that can come break it down and simplify this for us as much as possible. And, for our first episode of here, we are back, 2021.
Yeah.
It's we can only be optimistic at this point, So till we see you on the next episode. Ciao.
Ciao.